and YouTube. We're going to get started in just a couple of minutes. I just want to make sure everything is up and running and that you guys can hear me and see me okay. All right. Looks like we are live and everything is connected. I do want to let you guys know I have the chat open. So if you want to say hi, do say hi in the chat box. We're going to get started in just a couple of minutes. And today's topic is how to sound more assertive as an introverted leader. So we're going to get started in just a couple of minutes, like I said. And I hope you guys like this one because I did this live on the same topic a few weeks ago, but it was an audio event and everybody loved it. I had so many people attend. So I was like, you know what? I have to do it again. And this time I've added a lot more on here. Hi, Emran. Hi, Mohammed. Salvador. Do say hello in the chat box. I would also love to know where you're from as well, by the way. But all right, guys, let's get started. I know it's 10:04. We're already running a little bit behind, so let's start. By the way, before we start, I do want to let you know my name is Maria Malik. I'm a corporate speaking coach, if you don't know already. And basically what I do is I help corporate introverts overcome their fear of public speaking. I help them learn to speak like a leader so that you really stand out in the workplace. And as a result of that, one of the biggest outcomes that my clients get is that they get promoted faster, which is insane, right? That wasn't even something I was expecting. I mean, I'm not surprised, but one of the biggest results that my clients come back to me with is, Maria, I got promoted. Maria, I got that raise I wanted. So that's how important speaking is, especially in the corporate world. All right, we're gonna start. And before we do, I wanna ask you guys, how many of you guys here are introverts? Let me know if you're an introvert. And I see we have people from Mexico, England, Germany, India. But how many of you are introverts? If you're an introvert, say introvert. I want to see who you are. Also connect with me. Follow me if you are an introvert. I create a lot of content for introverts in the corporate world. So I know you will find this very helpful. All right, we have a couple of introverts in here. Perfect. All right, another question for you guys. How many of you feel invisible at work? Such a crappy feeling, right? You go to work and you go to all these meetings, you attend all these presentations, you go to all these places, and guess what? You feel like at the end of the day, you didn't contribute, or even if you had something to say, you couldn't get your message across. Not such a great feeling, right? Terrible feeling. I've been through it, so I know. This is why I wanted to cover this topic today. It's for those of you who feel like you just do not get heard in the corporate world. No matter what you try to do, you have all these thoughts, you have all these ideas, but it's so hard to get people to notice you. It's so hard to be able to stand out in a crowd full of extroverts. I want to tell you guys a little bit of my own story, okay? Because I think it's really going to resonate with a lot of you since we have so many introverts here. First thing is that I was extremely quiet. I worked in the corporate world, you guys, for almost 10 years. 10 years. I was extremely quiet. I really, really struggled, first of all, to get the jobs that I wanted. I would never get promoted. I would never be able to ask for a raise. I had so many issues. I was just going with the flow. And honestly, I didn't stand out at all. And I hated it because I really wanted to be able to move up the corporate ladder. I wanted to get those promotions. I wanted all of those things, but something just wasn't working. So I really, really had to put in a lot of work. I started reading books on speaking, on presentations. I hired coaches. I did a lot of work. And you know what? Within just a few months of me trying to do that, my life completely changed. I started to get the promotions that I wanted. I started to get the jobs that I wanted. And I started to feel so much more confident at work. I actually started enjoying going to work, because how many of you don't like going to work because of that? It's like, what's the point? I'm going to go to work. What's the point? I'm just going to sit there quietly. I could do this from home. What is the point of me physically going into work? But today now, after I have learned how to speak confidently in front of an audience, how to articulate my thoughts, because of that, not only did my career take off, but when I started my business became very successful as well. Because think about it this way, even this right now, this is public speaking. You have to know how to convey your message, deliver your message, get engagement, connect with your audience in order to get anything done in life. So me growing to 200,000 followers on LinkedIn, it's not an accident. It's not a coincidence. It's because I know how to connect and speak with an audience member. And that's why you being able to sound assertive, you being able to sound like a leader is going to help you in so many different areas of your life, okay? So let's get into the actual tips. I do have 6 things that I want to cover with you guys. So take notes, okay? Write it down. You're going to want to remember this, okay? Number 1, if you want to sound like an assertive leader, you have to have clear communication. What does that mean? That means you have to be able to articulate your thoughts. Whatever is going on in here, you have to be able to speak it very clearly. And by the way, I do have a full video. It's a very nice long video on articulating your thoughts on my YouTube. I'll link that below. But I'll talk about some of the things that I mentioned in there that you need to be able to do for clear communication. Number 1, you have to take out those filler words. The ums, the you have to take those out, because as soon as you start saying those filler words, first of all, what are they? They're exactly what they're called. They are filler words. They're words that are used to fill in space because you can't think of the next word to say, okay? So filler words have got to go. You have to stop using those ums and uhs. And how do you do that? Really slow down your speech. The reason why you're using these filler words is because there's a disconnect between your thoughts and the words that you're actually speaking, okay? So when you slow down, when you really control your pace, dial it back, what's going to end up happening is you'll have just that extra little bit of time to think, okay? And that's what you need. You need that extra little bit of time to think of the next thing that you want to say. So slow it down, okay? Let me give you another example of filler words. You guys have heard these all the time. Maybe we should try this. Instead of saying, maybe we should try this, use clear communication. Take out the filler word. Say, I recommend we pursue this strategy. Look at how much more confident that sounds. Maybe we should try this. I recommend we pursue this strategy. 2 very different things, right? Use your pace to your advantage. Slow it down. I'm going to give you guys an example. I'm sure most of you guys know who Barack Obama is, correct? One of the greatest speakers. If you ever pay attention to how he speaks, he takes his time. He speaks very slow. It's like time is not even there when he's speaking. He's in no rush ever. He's in his element. He's so composed, and he doesn't use any filler words. He has very clear communication. He's just one example. Take a look at all of the speakers that you really, really like. And you're going to notice that, hey, they barely use filler words. Yeah, they might drop 1 or 2 here, an or an here or there, and that's okay. 1 or 2 is fine. But if you're repeatedly using filler words, you're not going to sound very assertive. You're going to sound like you're unsure about what you're talking about and that you're not very confident in what you're saying. So if you are not confident in what you are saying, why would anyone else be confident in you and what you're saying? And then how will you look like a leader if you don't portray confidence? Okay? That is the number 1 thing that I wanted to focus on when it comes to sounding assertive. Okay? By the way, you guys, I do want to let you know that I am taking on new clients for my one-on-one coaching program, which I just launched a few weeks ago. So I'm super excited. So if you are an introvert and you want to learn how to speak like a leader, if you want to be able to stand out in the workplace, if you want to really enjoy public speaking, and you want to become hard to replace, you want to be someone that gets promoted faster, then now is the time. Don't let 2024 go by where you just did not perfect the skill, because one of the biggest results you're going to get is you'll get promoted faster. You're going to be happier at your job if you learn how to communicate better, especially sound like a leader. It's going to make your life so much easier. Okay, so if you are interested, head on to my profile and click work with me. Let's get on the strategy call and talk about how I can help you get to your goals of sounding like a leader so that you can get promoted. You can get those jobs that you want. You can give those presentations with ease and you can enjoy your job. Okay. So invest in yourself, get on that call with me, and let's talk, okay? So again, you click on my profile and you click on work with me. All right, let's move on. So if you're just joining us, we're talking about how to sound more assertive as an introverted leader. So I'm getting onto the second point now, and as I'm getting onto it, I'm remembering it too, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have to do this. So if you want to sound assertive, you have to have confident body language. That means stop slouching. You know this thing we do where we lean here, or I've seen people on calls and their hands are on their cheek and they're just sitting there and talking like this. No, you can't be doing that. If you want to sound assertive, you can't be slouching down. You can't be leaning back like this. You can't be doing this stuff. Look at this. First of all, let's talk about my sound. When I slouch down like this, it compresses my voice. It's not coming out as clear. Same with me being down here. You want to have your back completely straight, shoulders back, okay? So that your voice is coming out nice and clear from your diaphragm, so nothing is compressing it, okay? Not only that, so now that your voice is more clear, the other thing is when you're sitting up straight, right away, you become more alert, okay? People around you can see that you are paying attention, you're more confident, and you know what you're about to say, okay? So fix your posture. Do not slouch. Do not lean back. Do not use your hand on your face. This isn't like, what is this? Why do you guys do this? Stop doing that. Straighten your back, have your hands in front of you. Make sure they are visible at all times, okay? By the way, if you're just joining me, let me know where you're from. I really like to see where my lives reach and where, what part of the world everyone is from. I see we have someone from Germany, we have someone from Brazil, India. So do say hi, and I'm definitely going to give you like a little bit of a shout out. So do say hi in the chat. Going back to confident body language, okay? What's the other thing? So we talked about posture, we talked about not slouching, straight back. The other thing is eye contact. If you want to sound assertive, you guys, you can't be looking everywhere but at your audience. You just can't be doing that, okay? You want to look straight at your audience. Look straight at the person that you are talking to. Okay, by the way, we have people from Argentina, Ghana, Massachusetts. Massachusetts, guys, it took me forever to be able to pronounce that, okay? Massachusetts, okay. I hope I said that right. We have people from Lebanon, South Africa, New Jersey, Alberta. Awesome, great, I love this. Okay, so going back to eye contact, you need to look people directly into the eye when you are speaking to them. Don't look down. I see people sometimes speaking, they're looking everywhere, but at the person they are speaking to or at the camera. Why? Why are you doing that? Why are you looking everywhere else? You don't want to be looking everywhere else because that's going to make it seem like you're just not confident in yourself and you're afraid to make eye contact. Think of it when you are being honest with someone, you're having a serious conversation. What are you doing? What are your eyes doing? They're looking directly at that person because you're tuned in, you're listening, okay? So if you want to sound assertive and speak more assertively, you need to look people directly into the eye, whether you are speaking or not, okay? Next thing is your hands. What are we doing with our hands? We're talking about confident body language. Use your hands to emphasize points. Don't hold your hands in front of you, close them off, don't cross them, and don't lean on things like this. You don't want to do any of that. You want to make sure your hands are open. You have open body language and you are using your hands to emphasize points. Okay? Thank you, Amanda. Just wanted to make sure. Okay? So you want to make sure you're using your hands as a tool to help you sound and look more assertive. Don't be afraid to use your hands, you guys. That doesn't mean you have to go crazy, put your hands everywhere. That's not what we're trying to do. Do what's natural to you. If you're someone that never uses your hands, start adding them in just gently. A few simple gestures, okay? They don't have to be too fast or crazy, just a few gestures. It should be nice, fluid, soft movements with your hands, okay? So that is the next thing. Last thing that you want to do with your body language is that you want to avoid fidgeting. What's fidgeting? I'm trying to see if I have a pen. Let me show you guys what fidgeting looks like. This is fidgeting. How many of you guys hold a pen in your hand and you go, right? How many of you maybe go like this? How many of you maybe play around with the pen? Maybe you hold something else. I don't know what else you guys have. Maybe you have like a water bottle and you're just like constantly holding it, moving it, playing with it. That's fidgeting. Okay, some people constantly touch their face when they're nervous. Like people scratch their neck like that, or their face, or something like that. Watch out what you're doing with your hands. Okay, stop fidgeting. That's nervous. That's like nervousness trying to come out. That's not going to make you sound very confident when you're speaking. Okay, so do pay attention to that. All right. So that was number 2 on confident body language. Now, let's move on to number 3. And if you're just joining us, we are talking about how you can sound and speak more assertively. So, especially if you're an introverted leader, because I know introverts have this problem mostly. Okay. And if you don't already know, guys, my name is Maria Malik, and I help corporate introverts overcome their fear of public speaking. So all of my content is it's specially designed for introverts. So follow me if you're an introvert, you're in the corporate world, you want to be able to speak better. Okay. All right. Number 3. Wait, let's see what someone said here. I always flutter my lashes when I start thinking things through. Yes, that is also fidgeting. If you're someone that does this a lot, I have seen people do that. When they are thinking, they use their eyes a lot. Pay attention to your eyes. Remember your eyes, your body, and your hands. 3 very important things when you're trying to look more confident. Okay, so moving on to number 3. If you want to sound more assertive, you have to, and this one's a very important one. If you take one thing away from this live, let it be this one. Okay, you have to fix your tonality. What does that mean? I'm going to say something to you guys, and I'm going to use monotones. I'm not going to have any tonality. Hi, everyone. My name is Maria Malik. I'm a corporate speaking coach, and I help corporate introverts overcome their fear of public speaking. I help them speak better, and I help them really kind of understand that speaking can make a huge difference in your career. Did you guys notice? Monotone. There's no up or down. It was just one tone. Let me redo that, say it differently, but let me use and fix my tonality, okay? Hi, everyone. My name is Maria Malik. I am a corporate speaking coach, and I help corporate introverts overcome their fear of public speaking. I do this by teaching them how to sound more assertive, how to command attention in a room full of extroverts, and be able to ask for what they want, especially in those meetings. Do you guys hear the difference between the first one and the second one? Okay. What did I do different? You're like, okay, Maria, that sounds great. They're 2 different things, but what did you do? Let me tell you the difference. First of all, the first one was monotone. It was all one tone. Nothing changed. It was really bad. That was terrible. The second time, this is what I did. First thing you want to do to fix your tonality, increase your volume slightly, especially when you first start speaking. So if it's your turn to speak, come in with a higher volume than you're typically used to. If your volume is usually here, hey everyone, welcome to my live. You're going to say, hey everyone, welcome to my live. Increase your volume. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is your pitch. So don't end on high pitches, because when you're ending on a high pitch, it makes it sound like it's a question or something. Okay, so for example, so I wanted to talk about how you can sound more assertive. See how my voice went up, more assertive, versus today I'm going to talk about how you can sound more assertive. See how my tone kind of dropped a little bit. It became more serious towards the end. Okay, so that's the second thing. So volume, increase your volume, and make sure you're paying attention to your pitch. It's not ending high, it's ending on a lower note. Okay. The third thing you want to do is stretch out some words. So let me give you an example. I have a sentence in front of me. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it normal, and then I'm going to stretch out some words. So here it is, normal. Being an introverted leader doesn't mean you can't be assertive. Now let's stretch out some words. Being an introverted leader doesn't mean you can't be assertive. Do you guys hear the difference? I stretched out. Being an introverted leader doesn't, so we stretched out, doesn't mean you can't be assertive. Okay. The great thing with this, you guys, is you can stretch out any word. There's no formula. There's no, you have to stretch out this word or that word. Take any sentence, read it out loud, stretch some words out, okay? I hope you guys read, because if you don't, you need to be doing that for your brain. And also, if you want to be a good speaker, you should be reading. But next time you read out loud, stretch out some words. Make sure you're not monotone. Try these 3 things. Fix your volume, okay? Fix your pitch, and stretch out some words. These are going to completely change your tonality, and you will sound so much more assertive, okay? So we've covered 3 things so far: clear communication, confident body language, and tonality. Are you guys with me so far? If you're still with me, say yes. I have 3 more to go, and they're really good ones. So I want to make sure you guys are there. You're paying attention. Say yes in the chat box if you're still with me. Say yes. There is a bit of a delay, so I have to wait a minute or 2 before I start seeing your messages pop up. Hi, Zayma. Thank you so much, Zayma. All right, just say yes if you're still with me. All right, we have Eric, we have Imran, Aaliyah, Reza, Robbie. There you go, Victor. We have a couple of people, Wasta, Zayma. Okay, great, perfect. By the way, you guys, I just want to remind you one more time, if you are a corporate introvert, if you're someone that really wants to now speak like a leader, if public speaking communication is one of your goals for this year, for 2024, you really want to be able to stand out in the workplace. You want to be able to enjoy your work. You want to become hard to replace. So you don't want to lose your job, and you want to be able to get all the jobs that you apply for, because public speaking and communication comes in handy with interview skills as well. Then do set up a call with me. Just go onto my profile and click on work with me one-on-one. Let's get on a call. Let's talk about how I can get you to your goals this year. Make 2024 the year where you finally know how to communicate, because I promise you, you learn this one skill, everything in your life will change. My career changed, my business changed, my personal life. The confidence that you gain from learning how to speak is life-changing. So let me help you get to that goal. Okay, so set up a call. I am taking on clients right now. Set up a call on my profile, click work with me, and let's get you there this year. Okay. All right, let's move on now. So we are talking about how you can sound more assertive as an introverted leader. Okay. We talked about clear communication, confident body language. We talked about tonality. Now let's move on to the next thing. Number 4, setting boundaries. Okay. Most introverts here and all over the world, we let people walk all over us. So let's say somebody asks you to do a task. We're going to say, yeah, I guess I can take on more work if you need me to. Even if you have so much work already and it's outside of your job description. Yeah, sure, I can take on more work. No, that's not what you want to say. You need to set those boundaries, and you need to use your voice and the way you communicate to set those boundaries. And I'll give you an example. Instead of saying, I guess I can take on more work if you need me to, you're going to say, I appreciate the opportunity, but my current workload is at capacity. I can revisit my priorities if needed. Okay, so you're still being respectful. You're still acknowledging that, hey, this is a great opportunity, but you're still letting people know, I'm maxed out at my work. I can't take on more work. I'm sorry. Okay, but you're doing it in a very, very professional way. So set those boundaries. Okay, let me give you another example. Instead of saying, I can work on that report over the weekend if it's urgent. Why? Why are you going to give up your weekend for work? Why would you do that? Instead of saying that, if you want to sound assertive, you can say, I have personal commitments over the weekend, so I won't be able to work on the report until Monday. If it is urgent, let's discuss how we can rearrange priorities. Aha, there you go. So much more assertive. And you're setting that boundary right there. Okay, let me give you one more example. Instead of accepting constant interruptions at work, instead of saying, feel free to reach out to me anytime. Now, I get it. We want to be nice at work, but the problem with nice, you guys, is people walk all over you. And I feel like a lot of introverts are super nice people. And that's great. But the problem is, let me tell you from my own life experience, if you're nice, if you're always giving in, people take more and more and more and more from you. So I'm not saying stop being nice. I'm just saying set those boundaries. So if someone says to you, they're constantly adding in meetings and whatnot to your calendar, instead of you saying, yeah, feel free to reach out to me anytime. Feel free to take all my time in the world so I can't do anything else. Instead of saying that, you want to say, I appreciate open communication. However, to maintain focus on my tasks, I prefer designated blocks of uninterrupted work time. If it's urgent, please email or schedule a brief meeting. Okay? You are setting your boundaries, you're letting the other person know, hey, I'd be more than happy to do this, but right now my workload is full or I have too much on my calendar, but let's talk about it and figure out how we can do that. Everyone is going to respect you so much more if you speak that way, okay? Instead of just accepting everything that comes your way, everything that's thrown your way, and you shouldn't be accepting everything that is thrown your way. Stop, pause, think about it, and ask yourself, can I take this? Okay? If you can, even then, even if you can take something on, the way that you communicate, set that boundary. Yep, sure, I'd be happy to take on this work this time. Next time, please give me a little bit more of a head notice so I could be better prepared. Okay, so even if in that moment you're taking something on, set that expectation and that boundary for next time. Okay, people will respect you more, you're going to sound more assertive, and they won't walk all over you. All right, you guys, don't let people walk all over you, please. And as an introvert, someone that, and I'm not just saying this like I'm actually a super nice person. I always want to help people. I always want to do things for people. But guess what? People take advantage of that. Okay, so you have to set those boundaries. You have to let people know, hey, I'd love to help you. However, I have XYZ going on. So why don't we find a time that works best for the both of us? Okay. All right. So that was number 4. Let's move on to point 5. Okay. If you want to sound more assertive, especially if you are an introvert, you have to focus on point number 5, which is the language that you use. Okay. So you want to start framing your statements using I to take ownership of your thoughts and opinions. What does that mean? So instead of saying something like, oh, people think that this is a good approach, this approach might work, people think that, or my coworkers or my team feels that. No. You want to sound assertive, you want to stand out, you want to speak with the word I. Okay, that means you're going to say, I believe this approach is effective because, not I think, I guess. Minimize those qualifiers. Those are your I think, I guess, perhaps, maybe. No, be direct when you're speaking. You want to sound assertive. You want to sound confident. So you're not going to use the, yeah, I think so. No, it's yes or no. Pick a side, stick to it. If you're wrong, that's okay. Admit that you're wrong and you fix it from there. But pick a side. Nobody likes someone that's in the middle. Okay, when you're in the middle, you're lost. When you're in the middle, nobody's taking you seriously. Pick your side. Okay. There's one more thing that I think a lot of you guys use. Okay, and that is the word you know. When you're speaking, you're like, yeah, so I thought that we would get this report done by this time. So you know how long it takes. Take that out, because these type of words, I think, I guess so, maybe, these are all qualifiers. You don't want to use that. You don't want to tell people, you want to actually tell them what that means. Is almost like saying, I can't think of the next word to say. I can't put this into an actual sentence or a good structure. So I just want you to think and put those words in there for me. No, if you want to sound assertive, you're going to lead the conversation. And you can't lead the conversation if you're not using your words, okay? And if you're not using the correct language. So take out those you-knows, take out those I think. Instead of saying, I think we should consider this approach, I recommend we take this approach because XYZ, okay? Do you see how much more assertive that sounds? Instead of I think, it's I recommend, okay? And take out that, scratch it off, guys, completely. Get rid of it. Done. Never want to hear you know again. If I hear you know one more time, oh, that makes me so mad because it makes you sound much less assertive. Okay, so take out that you know. All right, you guys with me still? We have one more to go. And you guys are really gonna like this one. I've saved the best one for last. Okay. You guys still with me? Let me know. Say yes in the chat box if you are still here. And tell me if you're learning, if you guys are enjoying this. Is this helpful? Say yes if this is helpful. Because I do want to create content that's actually going to help you guys and that's going to resonate with you guys so that I know that I'm bringing in value. I'm not wasting my time. You guys are not wasting your time. So let me know. Say yes if you are finding this helpful. I'll give you guys a second. All right. Okay. I'm seeing lots of yeses. Okay. Thank you, Amanda, Zubair, Kareem. Awesome. Dorina, Wasim, Arun. Awesome. Awesome, guys. I have one more point for you guys. You're really going to like this one. And this is something I don't hear people talk about so much. And you know what, you guys, I'll tell you this. I'm always still taking courses. I'm always still trying to work with other public speaking coaches because I want to keep learning and keep growing. And I'm going to be honest, you guys, the experience that I have working with clients and working with people, I've worked with more than 200 people, 200 clients now. The experience that I have gained, like I feel like I can't find that anywhere else. And this is why I try to bring that experience to you guys. Okay. And again, by the way, last reminder, if you are an introvert and if you feel like, you know what, I'm not taken seriously enough at work and people don't like listen to me and people walk all over me and I want to move up the corporate ladder, I have these goals, these aspirations, then make 2024 your beep. I can't say that on here, but you know what I'm trying to say? Make 2024 the year where you crush this goal. Learn how to speak confidently. It's going to change your life in every single way. Okay. And if you are interested, I am taking on one-on-one clients right now. Go onto my profile, click on work with me. My calendar is open for now. I am going to close it off soon. Once it's closed off, I won't be taking clients for a few months. So click on work with me. Let's get on a strategy call and let's talk about how I can help you get to your goals. Okay. Let's move on to number 6 now. Be clear and concise. And I'm going to tell you what that means. So number 6, if you want to sound more assertive, if you want to sound like a leader, if you want to be taken seriously, you have to be clear and concise when you're speaking. What does that mean? That means you are going to speak less, but say more. I'm going to repeat that. Speak less, but say more. Okay? I wanted to repeat that because I want you to remember this. Have you guys ever think about people in your workplace right now? There's that one person that just talks and talks and says all of this stuff and they're all over the place. They're saying a lot, but not saying anything. How annoying is that? Isn't that the type of person you're just like, oh God, here this person goes again. They're going to waste another 5 minutes of this meeting and nothing is going to be said. You don't want to be that person. You want to be that person that sits there quietly, and then when it's your turn to speak, everybody turns and looks at you because they know, okay, Victor is going to say something very important now. Brenda is going to say something very important now. Gustavo is going to say something very important right now. So they turn around and look at you seriously and they listen. That's the person you want to be. Okay. That means you have to say less, but when you speak, you're going to say only what's necessary. Okay. How do you do that? You want to have a structure when you're speaking. There's 2 types of people. Extroverts, most of them, like to think out loud. They talk and talk. And then we have our introverts here who just give you yes or no answers. They don't speak a lot. You want to be in the middle right here. So you have to have a structure. That means, and by the way, I want to do a whole live on just this, how to have a proper structure when speaking. You want to have an introduction. Okay, think of it like an essay. During an essay, you set the tone. You let people know what you're going to be talking about, and you have an introduction. That doesn't mean you're introducing yourself necessarily, but you're going to set the tone. You're going to let people know right away what your thoughts are and opinions are. And then you have your 3 points. Again, think of it like an essay. So let's say, for example, somebody asked me the question, what do you think are some good qualities a leader should possess? Here's my intro. That's a great question. What are some qualities that I think a good leader should possess? Actually, the 3 most important ones are, number 1, I think that all leaders should be able to communicate effectively. Number 2, I believe that they should be able to lead by example. And number 3, they have to be able to put in the work. That for me is a leader, okay? So see how in the introduction, I already let you know what's coming. Now I can elaborate on all 3, okay? So that's your structure. Now, last part, and this is where a lot of you guys miss this part. After you're done speaking, people usually say, yep, okay, thank you, yep, that's it. No, don't end that way. Don't give people that awkward stare when you're done speaking, like, I'm done speaking. No, you want to let people know. You want to go into your outro. I like to call it an outro, and I teach a whole impromptu session just on outros. Your outro is now where you're wrapping things up. You're summarizing. You're letting people know that you're done speaking. Let me give you guys this example, going back to that question of leadership. So again, these are the 3 main points. I hope that answered your question. If there's anything else you'd like for me to clarify, please let me know. I'd be happy to elaborate some more. There you go. That's your outro. You're not ending with a blank stare, with an awkward look, with a, yep. No, that's not how you want to end things. You want to open it up. If that didn't answer your question, or if something is missing, please let me know. I would love to continue. I'd love to elaborate. How much more assertive is that? Okay. That is really going to help you stay on topic. Okay. It's going to show that you have your thoughts in order. It's going to make sure that you're not rambling, you're not going off topic, you're not just talking about everything and anything. Okay. Because guys, when you're speaking, like I said, speak less, but say more. You have to have a structure when you're speaking. And the simplest one you could use, and you could use for almost everything, is think of it like an essay. Introduction, your 3 points, and then your outro or your conclusion. 5. Think of it on your hands. Okay, always remember that. I'm in my introduction right now. I'm in my 3 points right now, or my 1 point, or whatever, how many points. Okay, now I'm going into my outro or conclusion. Okay, and you can use this to speak for 1 minute, for 2 minutes, for 30 minutes, for an entire hour. Okay, I hope that made sense. So stop rambling, stop going off topic, use a structure, speak less, but say more. Okay. All right, you guys, so that was number 6. I'm going to do a quick recap in case you missed anything. The great thing with these lives is it is recorded. If you want to go back and watch it, please do so. And this is why I tried to do a LinkedIn video live today, because I know that the audios, unfortunately, they're not recorded on LinkedIn. And I know some of you guys are probably at work. You're not able to watch the whole thing. But before I do a quick recap, I want to remind you one more time, if you're an introvert, if you're tired of not being heard at work, if you're tired of feeling invisible, if you want to be taken more seriously, maybe you just got a senior position, you want to solidify your role, you want to show people that, yep, this was well-deserved, then you have to learn how to communicate more like a leader, okay? And that's what I can help you with. So if you are ready to finally take on this challenge and be a great speaker in the corporate world, then book a call with me, a strategy call. I am taking on clients right now. Go onto my profile, click on work with me one-on-one, set up our call, and let's talk about how we can get you there, okay? But please only do so if you're very serious and you're ready, and you are ready to make that investment in yourself. You're the best thing that you can invest in, okay? Make 2024 that year where you invest in yourself, because it's gonna pay off tenfold. I have a million clients that come back to me and tell me, oh my gosh, Maria, just after 6 months of doing my program and working with me, I got promoted. I got that raise I wanted. I got this. Oh my gosh, my work is so much easier. I thought I was gonna lose my job, but now my boss is inviting me to do presentations and they're inviting me to conferences. That's the type of results you can expect when you get better at speaking and sounding like a leader, okay? So book that call and take action. Make sure that you make this year that year where public speaking becomes a piece of cake for you, okay? Let's do a quick recap, and then we'll head out. I also have a call soon. All right, so again, we talked about clear communication as number one. Get rid of those filler words. Don't use the maybe we should try this. No, I recommend we pursue this strategy. Number two, we talked about confident body language. Stop that slouching, sit up straight. Make sure your eyes are directly looking at the person when you're speaking to them. Use your hands to emphasize points and stop fidgeting. Stop this fidgeting behavior. It makes you sound much less confident. Number three, we talked about tonality. You don't want to sound monotone. How are you going to not sound monotone? You're going to increase your volume. You're going to pay attention to your pitch, so you're not ending on a high pitch. You're going to stretch out some words when you're speaking, okay? And it could be literally any word from that sentence. You decide. Number four, setting boundaries. If you want to sound and look assertive, don't let people walk all over you. If you can't take on work, be honest about it. I appreciate the opportunity, but my workload is at capacity. Let's revisit this priority if it's really necessary, okay? And you want to nod your head. You don't want to be smiling when you say that. No. You know, smiling is great. It's a great way to connect with your audience, but there are times where you have to have a very serious face or else people don't take you seriously. Okay, so set those boundaries. Number five, pay attention to the language that you're using. Use I statements. Take ownership of your thoughts and your opinions. I believe that this is what we should do. This is the approach that I think would work best for me. You do want to minimize those I think and I guess. Instead say, I recommend. Instead of I think, I guess, I recommend. Based on my experience, this is what I think it is. Also, take out the you know. If you are someone that says, no, that means you don't know what you're talking about. Tell us what that you know is supposed to be. Take out that you know. Lastly, be very clear and concise when you are speaking. Speak less, say more. Speak less, but say more. You'll be taken so much more seriously than if you're someone that's always speaking. People are going to be like, oh, here this person goes again. Use a structure when you're speaking. Think of an essay, introduction, 3 points, conclusion, okay? And stop rambling, stop going off topic. Having a structure is really, really going to help you with that, okay? All right, guys, that's it for today. I hope you learned a lot. And let me know in the comment section what else you guys want to learn. If you're an introvert, what are some other things that you need help with? I'm going to try to do these lives every single week, or if not every week, then every other week. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I want to make sure that every time I do this, I bring you something that is of value and that you'll actually be able to take into the real world, okay? Because I don't want you guys to waste your time. I want you to improve. I want 2024, the year where you learn how to communicate and you move up that corporate ladder. So do follow me if you're an introvert. Let's stay connected and make this year a great year, okay? I know some of you guys have questions. How do we access the recording? LinkedIn does record this. So if you go to my profile, click on posts, you should see the recording there. So you can go back and watch it from the beginning, okay? All right, you guys, really appreciate you being here. I want to thank you guys all so much for the love, the support, everything that you guys do for me. I would not be here without you. So I just want to take a second and say thank you. I really, really, really appreciate you. I love LinkedIn, and I hope you guys have a fantastic Thursday and then have a great weekend coming ahead. Okay? All right. Take care, everyone. This is Maria Malik, again, your corporate speaking coach, and I will see you on the next one.